day, sir. Good day, mate. I am Kyle Kent B. Flores. Today, I am going to discuss about the introduction to global income inequality. So, United Nations tried to address problems in the world, which the 8th Millennium Development Goals in 1990s, which among these 8 goals, eradication of extreme poverty and hunger rank as first. So, from the word eradication, which is removing, they tried to remove extreme poverty and hunger, which is until today is still present. And United Nations have these other 7 goals, which is achieving universal primary education. So primary education is present in today, and promoting gender equality and women empowerment. So in today's generation, present put gender equality and women empowerment. So they already achieve these 2 goals, and next is reducing child mortality. So reducing child mortality means child abortions, and those are very rampant in today's generation because of early pregnancy or no proper education, no proper sex education, and birth controls. So this goal is still not achieved. And next, the 4th goal, which is improving maternal health, and there are many programs about maternal health, so they're still trying to we're still trying to improve this. And next is combating diseases like HIV, AIDS, and malaria, tried to achieve by 2015, which we failed to achieve, and it's already 2026. So HIV and AIDS and malaria is still present in today's generation. So standard of living in the world. So there are standards in living in the world. So in Philippines, in our country, a person is officially living in poverty if you make less than around 275 pesos a day, which is 100,534 pesos a year. So if your income is around 275 pesos a day, you are already living in poverty if we base it in the standards of living in the world. So according to UN, extreme poverty is characterized by severe deprivation of basic human needs. So deprivation, gina-deprive ta sa to basic human needs. If you can't afford basic human needs, you're basically in extreme poverty. So 3 years ago, UN reported that 836 million people still live in extreme poverty, down from 1.9 billion. And World Bank predicted that by 2030, the number of people living in extreme poverty could drop to less than 400 million. So in my opinion, their prediction is not very accurate, because in today's generation, extreme poverty is still very present in every country. And by 2030, um, I think it will not be dropping to less than 400 million. So, economic globalization and global trade. So, according to UN, economic globalization refers to the increasing interdependence of the world economies as a result of growing scale of cross-border trade of commodities and services. So, um, flow of international capital and wide and rapid spread of technologies, two different types of economies associated with economic globalization, protectionism, and trade liberalization. So, economic globalization, it increased the interdependence of every country because global trade, we are exchanging cultures, our products, anything that we exchange with other countries, like our fashion, music, our language, and protectionism means a policy of systematic government intervention in foreign trade with the objective of encouraging domestic production. So it's a systematic government intervention. So gonna protect ang atong um, global trade or atong foreign trade so that safety ang atong export and import from other countries o sa gikan sa atong countries. So globalization made some countries, especially the developing ones, to gain more in the global economy at the expense of other nations. So, isang atong country ani, isang atong country sa the benefit of more from other countries. Kay usually ang atong mga products is from other countries yun. Like our clothes, bags, and food. Usually good we import those kind of things. So globalization really made our country to develop, and countries can make trade easier with other countries. One of them is fair trade. So fair trade is defined by the International Fair Trade Association. It's a concern for the social, economic, environmental well-being of marginalized small producers. So, as I said, countries like our country is really gaining from globalization because we always import from other countries. And that is my topic. So thank you for listening, sir and mates. So that's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, mates. I am Kadeta Mislani Margilupi. So, the topic discussed today is economic globalization and sustainable development. So, economic globalization is the increasing freedom and integration of economics across borders through the rapid growth of international trade, investment, flow of money, and movement of goods, then services, technologies, and their jobs. So there are some significant downsides to globalized trade, and perhaps the strongest arguments against economics globalization is its lacks of sustainability, or the degree to which the Earth's resources can be used for our needs even in the future. So specifically, the development of our world today by using the Earth's resources and the prevention of such sources for the future is called sustainable development. So there are some significant downsides. First, inequality within and between nations. So while some benefit greatly, many workers, especially in developed nations, lost job in lower wage countries. Number two, loss of economic and food security. So countries become dependent or in import for initial foods, energy, medicine. So disruptions, pandemics, wars, trade disputes create immediate shortage and price spikes. Uh, Race to the bottom in standards. Nation complete to attract business by lowering taxes, weakening labor laws, so and relaxing environmental protections and lowering level standard and environmental safeguards globally. Cultural and social cost. Global brands and mass culture can displace local traditions, languages, and ways of life. So, what is sustainable development? So, sustainable development, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. What is lack of sustainability? Using up resources and creating harm faster than the earth can recover or replace them. So development has to be ensured and for the future generations. So we do not own the earth, we borrow it from our children. Progress today is meaningless if it leaves nothing for those who comes after us. So, sustainable development seeks to chart a middle path between economic growth and sustainable environment. Berg GC and Versilli 2008 globalization pushes of growth at all costs which destroy the planet. Sustainable development is the balanced situations. The relationship multidimensional, economic, political, and technological. And so first is economic fair trade, praising pollution, respecting resources limits. Then political, international agreement, shared rules, no pollution habits. So technological, green energy, cleaner production, circular innovations. So the continuous use of the world natural resources such as water and fossil fuels has enabled humanity to innovate and advance. We had harnessed energy, developed new technologies, and achieved remarkable progress in transportation and communication. However, this advance has come at high environmental cost. Climate change has accelerated and global inequality remains unresolved. In short, while development brings clear benefits, it also carries significant trade-off. Progress on one hand often come with a cost of the other. So the benefit of resources, positive, energy, technology, progress in transport and communication. So technological progress, access to energy, new invention, and globally sharing of innovation. Advancement, faster transport, instant communication, easier travel and trade. Then economic growth. So economic growth, high production, more goods available, rising living standards for many. So knowledge and connections, ideas, skills and solutions spread across borders quickly. So cost climate change worsens. Inequalities still exist. So negative, not everyone benefits equally. So every environmental harm, resources depletion, pollution, waste, acceleration climate change. So instability, using resources faster than nature can replace them, leaving less for the future generations. Global inequality, wealth and benefits concentrated in richer nations. Proper nations, PR, and environmental and social costs, social traits of short-term profit and over long-term well-being worker right and community stability. That's all, sir.
Environmental degradation. Environmental degradation refers to the damage to the environment caused by activities connected to development and production. The Industrial Revolution increased efficiency in production, but it also led to more carbon emission from factories and waste in the ocean, causing damage at the atmosphere, coral reef, and marine diversity. Other other problems include deforestation, pollution, and climate change. The source also discusses the debate between environmentalists and neoliberals about free trade environment. There are efforts to address these problems such as the Kyoto Protocol, carbon tax, and carbon neutrality. However, there are challenges in implementing this measure and finding alternatives to fossil fuels. The search emphasized that environment problems required a global view. Food security. Food security means delivering sufficient food to the entire world population. The demand of the food is expected to be 60% greater in the world face the challenge of feeding 9 billion people by 2050. Food security is connected to the population growth, climate change, water scarcity, and agriculture. The source explained that environmental problems such as deforestation, industrial fishing, declining freshwater, pollution, and global warming can affect food security. To address the issue, the United Nations promotes ending hunger, achieving food security and improved nutrition, and promoting sustainable agriculture through SDG 2. The World Economic Forum also established the new vision of agriculture to encourage cooperation and knowledge exchange among different groups.
This topic is about economic globalization, poverty, and inequality. First is economic globalization. Economic globalization is the process where countries become more connected through trade, businesses, investment, technology, and movement of goods and services. Second is poverty. Poverty is the situation where people do not have enough income or resources to meet their basic needs such as food, clothing, housing, education, and healthcare. Last is inequality. Inequality means that resources, income, opportunities, or wealth are not distributed unequally among people or groups. How are they connected? Economic globalization can create more jobs, businesses, trade, and economic opportunities, which may help reduce poverty. However, its benefits are not always shared equally. People or countries with better education, technology, and resources may gain more, while poorer groups may receive fewer benefits. This can contribute to economic inequality. In simple words, globalization connects economies. It can create opportunities, but if the benefits are not shared fairly, poverty and inequality can continue.
Good day, mates. Our topic today all about global income inequality. So, what is global income inequality? We can see how different nations are divided between the north and the south, developed and least developed, and the core and the periphery. So, we have two different types of economic. First is um, wealth inequality and income equality. Second is wealth refers to the net worth of, of of country. So what is global income inequality? Means that people and countries do not have the same amount of money or resources. So some countries and people are wealthier and have more opportunities, while others have lower income and fewer resources. This create differences in their quality of life, like education, job, and access to basic needs. So that's all. Thank you.